Welcome, guys. The show is hashtag right here on your favorite channel, VOP TV. This is where I get to tell you all things trending, especially on X. And if this is your first time for hopping on the show with us, I say welcome. Right, my name is Vivian. I'm not flying this plane alone. I got my co-anchor here, Ikechukwu. How are you, sir?
Good evening, Vivian.
Yes.
It's the midweek edition of hashtag, and I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah, absolutely. Same here. The feeling is mutual. Guys, if you're game, let's get this show on the road. It is hashtag Peter Obi for starters. So Peter Obi is denying that he's joined the PDP. There's been lots of chatter online that the former LP presidential candidate is now back to his home, which is the PDP. The PDP has made no bones about wooing Peter Obi. They've been saying, come back home, and all of that. But he's come out clearly to say, no, he's not going back to the PDP. Also, there's a back end to that story. The Labour Party is gradually falling apart. It has lost 21 lawmakers, wait for it, in just 12 months due to internal crisis. Is the LP becoming a PDP junior or something? I don't even understand it. So this is where we are starting today. Also, the interim chairman of the coalition party, the ADC, which Peter Obi is part of. So he's in the LP, he's also part of the coalition party, ADC. Now, the interim chairman, David Mark, has come out to say that no anti-party activity is going to be tolerated in the party. In fact, his words, zero tolerance for anti-party activities. He also said you are either in the ADC or you are not. So guys, let's go to X so you have a feel of what's going down precisely. Shall we? Let's do it. Blueprint newspaper says Peter Obi denies joining PDP, reaffirms commitment to ADC coalition. Peter Obi, the 2023 presidential candidate of the Labour Party, has officially rejected claims that he is rejoining the People's Democratic Party, PDP. Let's take a look at the next one. So Daily News Hub says Labour Party loses 21 lawmakers in 12 months as internal crisis deepens. There's another one. Let's take a look at it. All right. Daily News Hub again says Obi may not get Labour Party's presidential ticket in 2027. That's coming from the secretary. Little wonder, yeah. Before I play the video of David Mark, coming down hard on people who are intending to indulge in anti-party activities, let's talk about these three things, though. So Peter Obi is trending for these various reasons. The secretary is saying he might not get the LP party. That's no state secret, is it? Like, I mean, there's been all pointers to this particular fact.
Yes, I want to also believe that Peter Obi is also weighing his options. That's exactly why he's been careful about totally committing to one body, either the the ADC or the LP.
So one leg is in one shokoto in the LP. The other one is in another shokoto in the ADC. Does that qualify for anti-party activities?
No. At this point, that's you can't say that's anti-party because it's actually not playing against the LP at this point. It's still very much. It doesn't change anything. You're a Christian. You can always go first date with your friends in the mosque. That's exactly what he's doing. It does not make you a Muslim at the point until you fully, commit to the cause.
So let me understand what you're saying. So he's fully a member of the Labour Party, but not fully a member of the ADC.
Yes, because it's not declared that he's a member of the ADC.
Yeah,
before you become a member, you have to actually go through certain process.
Is that not a minus? When you have people like Atiku Abubakar, who's made no bones about not being part of the PDP anymore, but a full member of the ADC.
So for Atiku now, his case can actually pass as an anti-party if he decides to actually, go against the ADC at this point. If they still see him going back to the PDP to be part of their meeting and all, this is clearly an anti-party because you've declared openly that you're not a member of this party, and that's exactly where you're coming from.
But for Peter Obi,
at this point, this is just a coalition. We all can all sit down together as statesmen from different political parties to have a conversation about, the state of the nation. That's basically what the ADC is still at this point. That statement gathering from different political parties with different political ideology, trying to actually find a way around getting the country back together.
You made your case. Well done. So you were saying earlier on that he's weighing his options.
So it's very much weighing his option at this point. And I think one of the things that he was accused of in 2023 is that he's not a good politician. He didn't actually play the politicking part of the politics very well. That's exactly.
Do you agree?
Well, to an extent, you want to look at him maybe because he's really largely surrounded by people who are not big political figures in the LP at that point. So you want to say maybe the act of politicking was not as strong as we have it now. Now he understands that you don't just go fully committed. You have to actually make certain concessions before you actually make the move. And I also know that of course, the ruling party will be sponsoring people in different camps to ensure that he doesn't run. That's the ultimate goal of the ruling party at this point. So if they can actually succeed to actually shut him out of the LP, and that's exactly why, let me tell you something. Abia State, the last election in Abia State, local government election, right? ZLP, that's Zenith Labour Party,
yeah.
Swept all through the local government.
Anytime you talk about the Zenith Labour Party, I just remember Olusegun Mimiko. Probably because it's the one that made it popular or something. So back to what you're saying.
So you see, there's something I'm actually thinking. The first day that thing happened, I was thinking, okay, perhaps that's his own secret war chest.
Who?
Peter Obi's secret war chest.
The ZLP?
Yeah. Because there's no way an unknown party is going to sweep all local governments without the governor of the state in it. So if this fails, that's going to be like the home that they're going to be rallying around.
So this is on record. You're saying that if the LP fails Obi,
which is most likely going to fail him,
and if the ADC fails him,
which is most likely, he
just might port to the ZLP.
Absolutely.
Fingers crossed.
So that's exactly.
Now, if this pans out, if this happens, I'll call you a prophet, really, for real.
Well, but that's when that happened, I sat down and said, okay, Peter is beginning to understand the act of how
politicking.
So this is very much in the hands of Alex Oti now. There's no way. The likes of Nnamdi Usman, they're all in it. So people who understand, how these sort of games are played.
Yeah, is this what played out in Rivers State when Fubara sponsored, a political party and swept the whole local government?
So this is you creating a structure outside the structure that you feel, okay, there might be a disharmony. There might be people who are actually trying to actually shut me out of the party.
Yeah.
And now the interesting thing is this, right? The governor of the state is the controller of the political party. There's no way a man can be governor of a state without controlling the grassroots of the state. And there's no way an unknown party, after the LP came into the state with the full force that swept all 23 local government of the state, and then all of a sudden one party just jumped in and then sweep it means the ZLP is definitely going to win the governorship election if it happens again.
What I hear you say is that Governor Oti is definitely in cahoots
very
with Peter Obi.
So that's exactly why I want to believe that a lot of persons within the LP rank is actually looking at this as, okay, perhaps this guy is also having something. So trust me, when this is going to be perhaps towards the end of next year, you see a paradigm shift. It's going to be clear who the LP candidate is going to be. It's going to be clear who this person is going to be. You're going to begin to see massive defection. Now, if the SDC, right, decides to actually say, okay, Peter Obi, here it is, it's definitely not going to be losing anything.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if the ADC say, no, we are not doing, the obedient movement would easily transition into the ZLP.
All right, fingers crossed, yeah. So we've got on record interim chairman of the ADC, General retired, of course, David Mark, and he also is known as the longest serving Senate president in Nigeria, right? He's from Northwest Nigeria, Benue State, and people have been saying this is a strategic one that the ADC pulled by making him the interim chairman, which is what the APC is trying to emulate by taking a Northwesterner to become somebody from the North Central to become their chairman. But first, take a listen to David Mark. Tolerance for any anti-party activity in the state. Now, Peter Obi has already come out to say that he's not going to be, that he's denied totally that he's not a member of the PDP. So would you say actually that David Mark is kind of telling Peter Obi to like sit still and be sure he knows what he's doing?
So basically, you know, when politicians speak, right, I always maintain that particular thought. You have to always pay attention to, you know,
what they're not saying.
So I think the video is up. Let's get to listen to it.
All right, let's take a listen to David Mark, interim chairman of the ADC.
Zero tolerance for anti-party and any form of indiscipline.
The general has spoken.
You are either in ADC or you are not in ADC. There is no midway in this business. And those who are not with us, we will not carry them along. We shall revise our grassroots leadership structures to reflect modern realities. From the polling units upwards, up to the national level, every organ will be re-energized. We will open the gates for the next generation. Our nominations and leadership roles will reflect.
So a number of talking points there. We will open the gates for the younger generation. That kind of quotes me though. If that's the case, if you're going to be, well, let me not put words in your mouth. What do you make of his speech ban though? And Peter Obi's denial of not being a member of the PDP?
It's not different from what we've heard other new coalition chairmen say. So it's not different. This is what they always say. This is for the future. This is we open the gate for the next generation. It's going to be a fair party. Everybody's going to be carried along. The youth will have a place. The women will have a place. At the end of the day, it's still going back to status quo.
And you're saying they're not going to give the youth and the women any
it's going to be business as usual. Wow. That's exactly what it's going to be.
Remember how she called now political activist Aisha Yesufu had said, give the women and youths very active roles in this new coalition party. I mean, I hope they listen to the
they won't listen at this point.
Well,
I don't think, because see, the only way that's going to happen, to be very honest with you, the only way that's going to happen where you get to see the youth actively participating in government is if P2B wins.
Because it falls into that category.
Because it falls into that category, and I mean, the crux of the people who are actually propelling him are actually young people.
You'll be shocked though that the former Vice President Atiku Abubakar also has an army of youthful politicians in his backyard as well.
No, when I'm saying if he wins, I'm not talking about him winning under the coalition, really.
You know, whichever party.
Because if he wins under the coalition, of course, I mean, the likes of Atiku Abubakar and co will definitely have their influence in the cabinet, and most of them will definitely want to bring, you know, people of his age and all of that.
Maybe.
But I'm talking about if he wins under an unknown party like the Labour Party, where, you know, the obedient movement actually propels him, then we can now see the possibility of that happening, because at that point, I mean, there's no one is actually owing the favor. You know, there's no one is actually owing one, say, okay, I'm going to give you this position or that. So it's going to be at his discretion to actually distribute, you know, bring in people who he feels they are very well competent. They have technocrats from abroad or people within the country, young people. Young people will definitely be, you know, well into the cabinet, because, of course, I mean, like I said, he doesn't owe one of these big horses anything.
So as we wrap,
But then, but for what David Mark was saying, right? Yes, if you look at it very well, it seems like a jab towards P2B. They really want to understand where he's seated at this point, because it's quite very important.
Does it look like he's sitting on the fence?
Very well sitting on the fence. He's being very careful, right? And the coalition has also not this. See, I think P2B is waiting for something before it makes full commitment.
What something?
And that is the fact that he wants to know where they'll be zoning the tickets to. He doesn't want to.
So if it's the south or the north?
Then if it is the north, if it's open, I don't think he will want to be part of it. If it's open for anyone to actually contest.
But we've heard Kenneth Okonkwo say that it's going to be an open one.
That's what I'm saying. If it's going to be open, if that's what they decided, P2B, I don't think it will be part of the ADC.
Okay.
But if they decide, okay, it's the turn of the south, let's give them the remaining 4 years, then I think he's definitely going to fancy his chance. And then, you know, throwing his hat in that particular.
So as we wrap this up, though, what I hear you saying in a nutshell is that Peter Obi might be going to the ZLP if the ADC and the LP fails him, but he's definitely not going back to the PDP.
No, I don't know.
All right, that's a safe place for us to land on this particular hashtag. The next one is hashtag before 12 noon. It sounds weird, right? Well, former Jigawa federal lawmaker Mohammed is barking. He's saying that before 12 noon on election day, President Tinubu is going to become, you know, a normal citizen and not the president anymore, that is going to lose to the opposition. That's what he's saying, basically. And he came down hard on this administration for failing in governance, and that people are crying that there's hardship in the land, basically. So he's saying nothing this administration has done. And you know what the North has been saying for some days now, right? It looks like the thing is getting tougher for the president, seemingly. But let me just take you to X so you take a look at the post. Credit goes to AIT for the video, which you're going to be watching after the post. But let's take a look at the post first. There are reactions to this, though. AIT, Africa Independent Television, says Tinubu will lose 2027 polls before 12 noon on election day. X House of Reps member Mohammed Kazauri. Take a look.
Local government level to the state level, they will come Abuja and do the pre and back. I am sure by 12 noon, as well as already. Therefore, this is our confidence to put justice in this our journey, because no party in this country that will fight us for us, because they are already missing. Look at, we are borrowing $22 billion. $22 billion. While we know there is more than 7 to 6 quadrillion in the hands of people. Government money. Personally, Mr. President, he called me before he was swearing in. I give him all my investigation, and I put all the files I give him. Over 100 and something trillion naira. By then we calculated over $113 billion. I give him, instead of him to recover the money, to build the country, he forget it, and we are following, living some people with trillions of naira. So they are messed up the country.
Said earlier on, that is a former federal lawmaker representing Jigawa State, Mohammed Kazauri, and he talked about the loans that's been borrowed and running into billions of dollars. It's not the only person, though, that has talked about this. A sitting senator also not too long ago talked about it, talking about Senator Ningi, who said, okay, the president should tell Nigerians what he's been doing with the monies he's been borrowing and all of that. I don't know if you want to react to this before take a look at the reactions, or should. All right, let's go back to X, take a look at the reaction, and then Ikechukwu and I will have a go at what the former lawmaker just said about the president not doing well regarding governance. Now, God's favors, or God favor, that's what the name says, I still don't understand why they all want him out without good reason. Well, they've been saying that he's neglected the North, for one, and the lawmaker also said he's been borrowing too much and all. Well, Crespo says he's laughing out loud for starters, and he says ADC is only sure of victory in Northwest and Northeast as of today. You know ADC can't win North Central, Southwest, Southeast, and South-South. How will Tinubu lose when ADC is only strong in 2 regions of Northwest and Northeast? I don't know if this calculation is correct, Ikechukwu, but there's another reaction I'd like for us to take a look at before we continue along this trajectory. Odihi Simon says, you have your own plans and he has his own too. He will just decide not to make another to be the INEC chairman this time around and put his errand boy there to announce just anything like Yakubu did. And if you don't like the outcome, he'll ask you to go to court in caps. Paril says, with this at INEC Nigeria, instead of these people to be pushing for electoral reform, they are talking about Tinubu. Electoral reform is the only chance for free and fair elections in Nigeria, even if they will still devise another way to rig. Let's reform first. Money George says, amen to what the former federal lawmakers just said. What do you make of these reactions, Joe?
Okay, so first of all, it is true that this government has really done bad. I mean, last 2 years has been terrible. Nigerians have never had it this bad.
Never ever?
Never ever. This is so terrible. I mean, from where we're coming from, that we thought, okay, the late PMBI took us to hell. This is another level of hell, right? I mean, it's so bad. But now let's look at the chance. You know, someone actually said ADC only has that
they are only popular in 2 regions,
Northeast
and Northwest.
Right, which means that the person is obviously ruling out the APC in the Northeast and the Northwest. So now the APC can only boast of the Southwest at this point. The APC cannot touch the Southeast. There's no ground for them.
How about the North Central?
Right.
The president said the APC cannot, I mean the ADC cannot win the North Central.
Now the North Central is going to be battlefield.
Aha.
Right. It's the battlefield now.
It's like in America they say the swing state.
Yes.
That's going to be the swing region.
So the North Central is the battlefield. And then we have the South-South. The South-South will always tilt towards the Southeast. That has been the political arrangement, just like the Northwest and the Northeast. The Northwest and the Northeast. That's how the Southeast and the South-South vote. So
where do you think the South-South is tilting to right now?
So, like I said, right, at this point, it's still very early. But then if, you know, there is a consensus between, you know, the political elites, and they agree that, okay, P2B, you're going to run, there's no way he's not going to beat Tinubu 2027. He will beat Tinubu, definitely.
So it's about the candidacy of Peter Obi?
Because if a non-Northerner,
if
a non-Northerner that is popular in the South step into the ring, is definitely going to, you know, divide the vote in the South and then claim the vote in the North. And
that is, if he has the Northerners backing him, maybe somebody like Atiku.
Yes, I mean, the ADC is the powerhouse of the North now.
Yeah.
So and of course, the North Central will always favor a Christian candidate at this point. They are so tired.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's going to play. It's going to play very much the way it played in 2023. If the candidate is a Southerner, who they say, okay, this person is actually quite different from what we've had, then of course, with the backing coming from the North, he's definitely going to win. But if a Northerner steps into the ring, it's going to be voter party in the South. That's where it's going to be. That's where the problem is going to come. Okay. And even the North Central will also have this voter party. Right? Okay, instead of that, let's leave who is there already. We don't even trust you guys. Right? That's
what you think. Yeah, that's your calculation.
Because it's going to be a case of, okay, this has been happening to us. You guys are political elites in North. You've done nothing. So how are we sure if we give you the power?
There just might be protest votes, really. There might be. But let's take a look at the other reactions. So people calling for electoral reforms. And they're saying that the president probably would change the electoral chair. It looks like there's been chatter, really, that Professor Mahmoud is a gunner.
See, I've always maintained that for Nigeria to change electorally, in fact, for Nigeria to change at all, if you want to see the days of rigging as you know, the good bad days, right? It has to start with this single step, electoral reform. Yeah. Let's get a proper electoral system. That way rigging is going to be almost impossible.
Since we don't have it now.
If we don't have it, that means the system is going to continue to be manipulated.
You remember just yesterday, Hakim Baba Ahmed had come out to say, if you dare rig in 2027, anarchy.
Again, INEC is not independent.
Yeah.
How can you say it's independent when the president appoints the chairman? So these are the problems. We need a proper structure that would define our electoral process.
So you're just saying that we need a truly independent electoral umpire. That's what you're saying.
True.
I think we'll wrap it up there. Yesterday we talked about the US saying that corrupt Nigerians actually is the bane or are the bane of the country. Corrupt politicians, yes. They are the bane of the country called Nigeria. So the US actually pressed the throttle today and just went straight to the point. Say the politicians are splurging while they are telling Nigerians to, you know, sit tight and ensure that they what's it called, economic reforms bear fruit. Now they put up a post on Tuesday. It's called Transparency Tuesday by the U.S. Mission Nigeria. So let's go to X, so you take a look at the tweet I'm talking about. So this is the reaction. Let's take a look at the tweet by the U.S. Mission Nigeria. So Ikechukwu, this is like a follow-up to the discussion we had yesterday, right? Where the U.S. was saying that, you know, the politicians are corrupt, and you were saying it was because they wanted something from this administration, and if this administration is not going to play ball, then they are gonna, you know,
keep throwing it.
Yeah,
it is part of those political gimmicks that you have to actually deal with as a president in the third world, right? where, you know, political influence from, you know, the people who call themselves the first world nation, and you know, your colonizers who definitely want to interfere in your political process because they actually want certain things to be done their way. And if it's not going their way, they definitely find a way to actually push you out to bring someone. We've seen this sort of
I'd like for us to actually take a look at that tweet by the U.S. Mission Nigeria and see if we can pull it up. So U.S. Mission Nigeria says, while Nigerians are urged to endure economic hardship, quote, like labor pains, some governors are splurging billions on new government houses at the Africa report reveals. So it was the Africa report that revealed, and the US actually is reposting. And then it goes on to say that at Budget NG, which is a very popular organization in Nigeria, it says that Budget NG wants that instead of funding schools, clinics, or agriculture, leaders, what now? The build buildings that they barely use, right? The big build buildings that they barely use. And then it goes on to say that there is more money, little accountability, and no priority. Such alleged lack of fiscal responsibility fuels inequality and erodes public trust. So let me take a look at the second paragraph again. At Budget NG wants that instead of funding schools, clinics, or agriculture, leaders prioritize buildings that they barely use. This is coming from the U.S. Mission Nigeria. Nigerians are reacting. Let's take a look at the reactions now, right? So, New Nigeria says, so you cannot engage via the right channels. What is this sensationalism? Billion-dollar question. Omo Logo says, we've told Nigerians to hold their governors accountable, but no. Now Abuja go face. There's another one, another group of reactions. So Gabriel O says, what's going on? Why is the U.S. mission in Nigeria tweeting this? 100% composure says, what's the solution? Daniel Rega says, who's always very active on X, says, not just governors. The key word is the government, which includes politicians in both the local, state, and federal levels. But politicians alone can't be blamed. Foreign governments are also part of the problem for continuously borrowing the Nigerian government money with little or no proof of accountability for the previous loans taken. Take the World Bank, for example. In summary, Nigerian leaders spend recklessly because they see means to keep borrowing with zero accountability. Crypto Lord NE says, now today una notice. What you did, these are varied reactions to this particular
one. Very, very interesting times. The thing is, right, when these people come up, I'm talking about these you know, foreign powers, they understand everything. I mean, there was a time a former UK Prime Minister said Nigeria is fantastically corrupt.
Yeah, he's no longer in government, yes, but he said it. And he tried to walk it back, but no.
Yeah, so you see this sort of statement. They understand the depth and of the rot that we're dealing with as a people. But the big question is, I think someone actually rightly asked the question, you know, what about you guys? Because your interference in Africa is really doing Africa a lot of harm. Now they come tomorrow, they ask you for loan, you give them loan, and you know that they're actually not going to do anything with it. Right. The thing is this, right? This is where they want us to be. And I'll say this.
Who?
This is where the foreign powers want us to be.
Stop it. It's just like people still crying, colonialism, colonial masters. It's been centuries. Africans, they're independent. Africa is an independent nation, totally independent of the rest.
So what happened?
Nigeria is no longer a colony of the UK. So why are we saying they are leaving us where we are?
Okay, so see, this is how it works, right? Your resources, right? They are very much interested in it. If they want it, they'll do everything possible to continue.
Okay, Chuko, why are we blaming the West and not the leaders, really?
No, I'm not absorbing. Yeah, because I'm not absorbing
that's my perception. Because you're not really hitting the nail on the leaders.
Okay, fine.
Fine.
Okay, let me not talk about.
We had this conversation yesterday. You said the same thing yesterday about the West.
Let me not talk about them.
But it's what the U.S. Mission Nigeria, what it has said, is it true or not?
Very well true.
Good.
The thing is, okay, let me leave them aside, right? Let me talk about the leaders. The thing is, if you have a country where laws means nothing, where people can actually do anything they like.
Where the rule of law is totally
they'll do what they want to do, and then just they know that there's definitely not going to be consequence. If something comes up, they'll just only have a tap on the wrist. But the truth is this, right? For everything you do, right, if there's consequence, you definitely want to act properly. Why I actually talked about foreign influence, because it's a thing here.
It's a thing, yeah. I agree.
It's a thing here in Africa. Yeah. See, let me tell you something.
We are wrapping this up shortly.
Yeah, if you know that there will be repercussion for whatever actions you take against your people, right? You definitely want to act right.
Absolutely.
That's exactly what is happening. See, a lot of times.
So are you saying the people too are not really holding their leaders accountable?
No, see, it's difficult to actually hold our leaders accountable. I'll tell you why. Now, everyone is focusing at the center.
Abuja, which is what someone said.
Because Nigeria runs, an unusual system, an unusual federal system of government.
It's called true federalism.
Right, it's called filling bottle federalism.
I don't know what that is.
Because naturally, it's supposed to be the resources flow from local government down to the federal percentage.
But every month, and every month they go to Abuja, all of them to share money.
So it's supposed to be Abuja coming here. To take from you, but now you're going there, so it's feeling bad. So
it's upside down.
Exactly. So they're feeding you. It's so terrible. So I mean, in that case, now it's just like a question someone asked a couple of days ago about Nigeria data. He said, you people keep complaining. They're giving you guys 13% derivative of your resources, right? Apart from the federal allocation you're getting. And then I asked the person, if you're asking him to actually give account for 13% derivative, right? What have you been doing with the 87% that you've been keeping? So you're blaming me for my resources, my 13% that I've not been able to give account of. Okay, good. What have you been doing with my 7%?
Yeah, that's a good question.
So are you telling the Nigerian man to go clean the creek, the oil spillage? How's he going to do it?
That's a totally different kettle of fish.
So that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I mean, it's difficult to actually blame, your local government chairman and the governors.
But I'm also saying that the people must be able to hold their leaders accountable. You do remember how former governor of Rivers State, Rotimi Amechi, kept saying really that Nigerians do not have the guts to really stand up and fight.
We didn't fight for independence.
And that's what you say. But I think we'll have another go at this some other time. But we need to move on. Hashtag IDPs. You know how we always follow up on stories. The last hashtag US Mission Nigeria is actually a follow-up to what we did yesterday. We have another follow-up. It was hashtag Benue yesterday, but today it is hashtag IDPs. So the First Lady, Remi Tinubu, paid a condolence visit to victims of the massacre in Yelwata, Nigeria's north central Benue, yesterday, and she donated 1 billion naira to the victims of the massacre. Yeah, she also called on the religious and traditional leaders to come together with government to ensure that there is space. But look at what's happening today. There is protest in Benue State. The IDPs are protesting the sharing formula of the 1 billion naira that the First Lady donated. Ikechukwu, you even said it yesterday. Okay. I mean, we said it, that this thing must be distributed equitably. It must get to the people it is meant for. So let me just take you right now to X, so you take a look at a couple of publications that put up this post. So the Punch newspaper says, Tinubu's wife's 1 billion naira donation stirs protest among IDPs in Benue. This is actually fresh. Parallel Fact News also has it. Let's take a look at it. Parallel Fact says, Remi Tinubu's 1 billion naira donation tears Benue apart. IDPs block Makurudi Lafia Federal Highway in protest, or to protest sharing formula. I think that's just one reaction to this particular story. Let's look at it. So, okay, well, we have three of them. LP says the best among all. LP, the best amongst all. That's the name. LP, the best among all, says Nigeria before election, she borrowed 2 million naira from Nana Shetima. Just 1 billion naira. Now, wow. Do you know, you remember what this person is referring to?
Yeah, very well.
Oh my gosh. Maybe you'll talk about it in a short while. Asked Truth says, between giving the people 1 billion and giving them their life back, which is better? This corn and foul government don't, what's that now? I don't understand this grammar, but let me skip it. Tuan Bra says, and there are a lot of fake IDPs. Nigeria. So these are legit IDPs in Benue State who recently suffered, very terrible incident. Lots of people died. Yeah. So what do you make of this?
So let's start from the very first one. All right. So before election, you don't have anything, and then after election, all of a sudden you have a billionaire.
So she traveled somewhere and she didn't have monies on her. So she said she borrowed money from Nana Shetima, the wife of the vice president.
I have a question. So this 1 billion naira, right? Do you know of any business she's running?
So I remember telling you yesterday that this came from her Renewed Hope Foundation. She has a foundation called Renewed Hope Foundation.
Let me skip the 1 billion.
Now remember that she's not just only the first lady. She is a senator.
Yes.
She's been a senator for so many time, for a very long time. She's also been the wife of, her husband, who used to be a governor, and is now a president.
All right. So
are you trying to tell me that she doesn't have like a safe nest somewhere?
So the truth is, before you be able to give somebody a billionaire, right? You should understand that politicians really give how would I use this word? They really give what.
What you're saying is she's very rich. That's what you're saying.
Okay.
You see, just say
what. No, that's not what I'm saying.
So what are you saying?
I'm saying politicians really give what is of value to them. I think that's the word.
So you're saying she has so much that the 1 billion no go move her. That's what you're saying.
That's what I'm asking. What business is she running?
Okay.
Before politics.
Well,
okay. So let's even talk
about. I already explained to you. She was first lady of governors of Lagos State. How many times?
So that's that.
Wait. How many times?
That means she's supposed to have.
No, now.
No, I'm asking you.
Okay, so she was also a senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. All right, guys, we'll wrap it up. The next hashtag is hashtag Tunji Alausa. He is the education minister. And, he's been saying a lot. He said that this administration is doing very, very, very well. And Linda Ikeji picked that up. And there are lots of reactions as well. Let's take a look at what people are saying online. First, Linda Ikeji. So Linda Ikeji blog says, people are just blind. That's a quote. People are just blind. The country is much better, is more safer, and there is increased prosperity in the country. And she's quoting Minister of Education, Tunji Alausa. So there are reactions, hilarious reactions to this particular hashtag. Let's take a look at it. All right, Block Chief says, the culture of lies will destroy this regime. There's another one. Let's look at it. Urobo Water says we all need to see the ophthalmologist, according to Tinubu, who made us blind. That's sarcasm of the highest order. There's another one. Let's take a look at it. So Bay Hunter says, or Bay Hunter, he isn't lying. The problem is followers of politicians tend to spend most of their time on X rather than be out there making money and creating businesses. Nigeria isn't working. It's a narrative you only find on platforms like this. Failure complains a lot. Go and be a leader. Oh my gosh. So basically, this is what Bay Hunter thinks. And I think he's the only one, or maybe the minority of the people, if you go to this thread, who actually agreed with the Education Minister, Tunji Alausa, that this government is doing well. And he said Nigerians are blind. For starters, some people feel that's derogatory. And some people are taking offense to that particular statement, really.
So, children of Shekau will not see their father as a terrible person, right? They will most likely see him as, a protector, a loving father, because he's definitely going to give them everything they want. So this government might be terrible to everybody, or rather, the government is actually terrible to me. So it's terrible to, I think it's terrible to a good number of Nigerians. But for people who,
you didn't say everybody, because there are some people who are.
That's what I'm saying, right? Yeah. But for people who are actually eating from the government, they won't see anything bad. Like I said, if you're eating, you observe table manners. So most likely you not see these things because you're getting everything you want. I mean, you have your car, you have everything at the beck and call, you are in trouble, just one phone call, the commissioner of police moves and everything gets to where you want. So the country is definitely working very well for you, right?
Yeah.
But for an average citizen, right, what they are seeing is not what you're seeing. So you guys are standing on the very different topography. When he's saying that you guys are not seeing what this government is doing, he's actually seeing something different because he's enjoying the perks of the office.
In fact, I remember some months ago, someone in government had said, I think no longer in government really, has said the president would need to really go out and mix with the grassroots,
even if
to know how Nigerians are really
if the
faring.
presidency is this bad. I mean, not long ago, 6 weeks ago precisely, when he went to Yelwata, what happened? Children came out in the rain.
Yeah.
They welcome him.
Yeah, but whose fault is that?
That's what I'm saying. So it's not about whether, if you want him to come out today, everything that's going to be seen will be people that are smiling.
No, but if he wants to, he can do it. You remember, I keep saying this, the former governor of Lagos State, Fashola, when he was governor, you know what he'll do? He'll just put his baseball cap in the evening and just walk unannounced, for example, into a hospital. And do you know what he's going to discover? People not doing their job. And you know what happened? The hammer comes down hard on. That's the man who wanted to know what's up. I mean, sometimes he just goes out with it without his, convoy and all of that. The president can do that if he wants to. Are you saying he can't?
He can't.
Why?
Let him do it first.
What will happen?
He can't. Because
I think he can.
He
really.
can't.
Why can't he?
Why will he?
See, the thing is, if he wants to, he'll be able to
When
do
he's
it.
got people...
So if a governor can do it, why not the president?
See, we've established this before, right? The governors in this country have little when it comes to economic policy.
Oh my
yes,
God.
Now.
I'm talking about the governor mingling with the grass, with the common man. And I'm saying Fashola did it. No. And that if the president wants to do
that's
it,
what I'm saying.
He can do it. So how come
and
you're not taking
understand that who is making their life worse? It's not the governor. If the governor has opportunities to actually make policies that will make their life hot, worse or bad, the governor will not be able to come out on the road. That's what I'm saying.
Some Nigerians actually said on Twitter that on X that it is the governors actually that are not doing their bidding.
How?
Didn't you see Daniel Rega? No, wait. Did we not just put up... No, wait, I'm asking. Did we not just put up the post by Daniel Rega who said that governors are not doing their bidding? That's why things are as bad as this.
No, see, that's a false. Right? The truth is...
That's false?
That's false now. That's false. See, economic policies that changes the lives of the citizen. It's not done by the governors. It's the president. If we have hike in fuel price, the president. If we have increase in dollar to naira, it's the president. All of these decisions that is going to change the life of the people is done by the president. If the farmers can go to the farm, it's still exclusively the president. So if you want to blame the governor, see, I'm not saying that the governors are not corrupt. But they have limited power when it comes to decision making as regard policy. They don't have this power. So if you want to equate the power of the president to even security, when it comes to securing a state, the governors don't even have it. They can't even control the commissioner of police. They don't have it.
Okay. So if that's the case, why was there so much ado when the governor of Edo State, Nnamdi Kanu, has said, Peter Obi, if you come to my state, if you come to my state without telling me, you're on your own, anything that happens. So if he's not in charge of his state, security-wise, how would they say stuff?
Obviously, we know like that people speaking through Monday. The thing is this. No, we've seen it now.
Okay, we need to wrap this up in a short while.
We've seen this thing play over time.
Okay.
There's an instance of case of Nyesom Wike when he was the FCT minister. Yes, Minister for State for Education, not even a junior minister, right? He was controlling the police of Rivers State against the sitting governor, Rotimi Amechi.
Yeah, but was he the governor or not? Was Wike the governor or not?
No, it was Amechi that was the governor.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm saying. Okay. So he was controlling him, and he was in fact, at some point, Amechi was crying. He was complaining that the commissioner of police wants to kill him. Okay. Because Wike had the federal backing at the point.
Was that an exception to the rule, or is this something that is general?
The constitution never empowers the state governor to actually. We don't have state policing.
So they are called the security officers of their states on paper alone, and that's something must be looked into.
Exactly, because see, when we talk about
we are wrapping this up.
This is why governors are actually this is exactly why governors are clamoring for state police, because they know if they have that, then they can control the security architecture of their state. But at this point, it's just on paper.
But you do know that the late Akeredolu has been praised for being a regional champion when it comes to securing the Southwest. because of the Amoteco idea that
you were not giving firearms.
That but have they been working or not? In fact, they were given.
Can they face estimate with
they were given an award by the US not too long ago to say, "Oh my gosh, you guys are doing well." But you see, these questions I don't have an answer for you. And we need to wrap up.
I know, but Vivian, the truth is, let's be very honest with ourselves.
Yeah.
Amoteco with wood.
Yeah, but are they working or not? Because there are people that are testifying to some of the things they are doing.
Against
we are wrapping this up, guys. The next hashtag is hashtag 200 NYSC Honourees. So I've got a couple of posts on X for this particular hashtag. Yeah, 200 core members are going to be giving jobs automatically in the federal civil service. You know, the president said so. I think the Punch has got this story, and then the minister is also talking about this, how she was part of it when, in fact, she was there to witness, you know, this a Punch making event. So let me take you straight to X as we begin to wrap this midweek edition up. The Punch newspaper has it. It says President Bola Tinubu on Tuesday approved immediate employment for 200 National Youth Service Corps honorees into the federal civil service. Let's take a look at the next tweet, shall we? Well, the next tweet is supposed to be by Honorable Ike Iruka Onyejocha. Did I get it? Nkiruka. Honorable Nkiruka Onyejocha. She said, yesterday I was honored to represent President Bola Ahmed Tinubu at the combined NYSC Honors Awards ceremony, a truly historic moment. For the first time ever, the presidency officially celebrated the Falcons after 10 straight wins, and 200 exceptional former corps members were recognized for their discipline, patriotism, and service in key sectors like health, education, and agriculture. We also paid heartfelt tribute to 10 courageous NYSC members from their Hope Alive initiative who sustained injuries during the service year. Their sacrifice will never be forgotten. But beyond celebration, this is a call to action and a spotlight on the real work being done. But basically, though, 200 corps members are going to be giving you know, employment automatically into the federal civil service. But some people are saying this is like a drop, you know, in an ocean. 200 out of millions. What's your take, though? You have like a few seconds to wrap this up.
It's very terrible that we will continue to see stuff like this. Why can't you just create a policy that's going to change the landscape, change the life of, I mean, teeming youth, people looking for jobs?
Like?
I mean, for example, when Obasanjo came on board, right?
Yeah.
One of the things that he actually did, the telcos that actually came on board, right? That's deregulation of the telco industry from Nitel to what we have it today.
Yeah.
I mean, streams of job were created. We have people pushing carts and selling this phone accessories and co. We have people creating SIM card. I mean, jobs, people, different layers of job were created.
And
right?
infotech is just massive right now.
Exactly. So
you're
I mean,
saying policies.
All of these monies that you're spending to bring these people into rewarding them 5 million and all of that, you know, bring people into civil service. How many persons are you going to bring into civil service at the time? Yeah, but the thing for me, I just see optics for 2023.
The thing is, so these people who are beneficiaries are actually celebrating, you know, what the president has done. But obviously, I'm not saying it's not good for them. But I'm saying that, you know, this is just for optics for 2027. This is one of the pictures you'll be seeing around 2027. All right. So, guys, this is how we wrap it up on this midweek edition of Hashtag. We gotta go, yeah. But if you had fun, why don't you make it? Keep it a date with us again, Ikechukwu and I, for another edition, same time, same station. Until then, take care of you and bye.